Welcome along to Silverstone for rounds 5 and 6 of the 2013 Motorsport News Fiesta Junior Championship.
So Aaron, first of all, birthday today, 14, which I believe makes you the youngest circuit driver in the UK.
Yeah, it does, and it's pretty exciting. To be fair, I got told the news yesterday, and it just made me think, like, it's quite scary in a way, the fact that I'm the youngest ever person to be driving on a track, but I think it's going to be good, yeah.
Now, obviously new to the Fiestas, because of your age and you've just turned 14, you couldn't do qualifying, so I believe you've had to follow the course car for 3 laps?
Yeah, I'm doing that in about 20 minutes, I believe. Just got to go around for about 3 laps, follow the safety car, get to know where the track is, what way I'm going. That's it pretty much.
Now, what attracted you to the Fiesta Championship?
Well, I was getting too big for karting, obviously. I mean, I was like 13, I was like 6 foot, and I couldn't keep it up with the weight and that. And my cousin Bobby done it last year, so I thought that'd be a good championship to go into. Bought the car and built it ourselves.
Now, starting off the back of the grid certainly for this first session, what's the tactics?
Try not to smash it up, pretty much. Obviously, I want to race, but I don't want anything to go bad. But hopefully, we can just bring it back. Hopefully, like a top 5, something like that. Just try and get up there, a bit of experience.
The cars coming onto the grid for round 5 of the 2013 Motorsport News Fiesta Junior Championship. James Ross on pole position. It's Ben Wilcox alongside, then Rob Cox and Alfonso Skritska on his outside. Rory Collingbourne lines up in 5th place. Alongside him is Alex Reid. On the 3rd row, it's Natasha Hussain, a gap where 34 Michael Higgs did qualify in 8th position, and at the back of the grid making his debut is car number 41 Aaron Thompson. The green flag already waved from the back of the field, and we're ready for 15 minutes of 14 to 17 year olds thrashing it out around Silverstone. Away they go. Great start in red by Alfonso Skritska. Pole position here at Silverstone, the outside line, the yellow pole sitter James Ross gets away well. Rory Collingbourne from 3rd on the grid in the white and blue car round the outside as they go into Copse Corner for the first time and head down towards Maggots. Everybody's got away clean, and I need to, well, I'll back reference the other cars in a minute, because as they go through Maggots and into Beckett's for the first time, it's Ross leading from Collingbourne and Rory Collingbourne putting pressure on. Alfonso Skritska's there. Rob Cox goes a little bit wide. 2nd place qualifier Ben Wilcox has lost a few positions. Natasha Hussain's running well. I think she's made up ground on the start. But as they come down the Wellington Straight towards the end of lap 1, Collingbourne makes a move down the inside into the Brooklands complex. Ross has left the door open. They're side by side. Collingbourne struggles with the car. He threw it right into the corner. He's still on the outside line now as they go through Luffield with James Ross on the inside, and Ross gets back across, takes the lead, but Collingbourne goes for the cut back down the inside. At the moment, Ross has got his nose in front. If possible, he'll try and get across, but now through Woodcote they come and up across the line. Is it side by side as they cross the line? Yes, it is. Collingbourne challenging for the lead. The whole field making it through, and Rory Collingbourne's got his nose in front. Collingbourne leads, only just though, because JJ Ross going for the burn-up round the outside as they go into Copse for the 2nd time. Cracking battle on for 3rd as well. It looks like Rob Cox has got himself sorted out, right on the case of Alfonso Skritska, who in actual fact seems to be closing in on the league battle. Ross gets it back, but now down the inside, Collingbourne's back in. That pair doing so much lappery side by side. Now, if that was touring cars, then they'd all be off in the gravel and moaning about each other, but these youngsters know a good deal about racing already. Here's the view from the 2nd place car. James Ross, so far, only, well, I'd say beaten once this year. He's had 1 DNF, and that win taken by Alfonso Skritska, who's coming up the inside. Skritska through into 2nd. Ross off onto the curbing, and he's got to try and fight back. Look how hard Alfonso's working to control the car. Well, this is junior racing, but the guys are right on the edge, and so many people telling me this is a terrific step up from karting, and probably cheaper than a lot of karting that's out there, and many of the dads are telling me that. And of course, you get a proper race weekend, very well organised by the BRSCC. Generally, this sort of racing a lot less frenetic, because although you don't get as many races, it does give you time to sort out the data, look at what you're doing, and of course enjoy the other excellent races that are put on over the course of the weekend. Collingbourne leads, James Ross 2nd, Alfonso Skritska in red is 3rd, Rob Cox is 4th, then it's Ben Wilcox. Great to see Ben back in the championship, looking to get some points on the board after a dismal outing at Rockingham. He missed the Snedster meeting due to family commitments, and a good qualifying performance from him. So down the straight once again, Collingbourne still in front. This four-way scrap, how's it going to unfold as they come into Brooklands? Still Collingbourne there. At the moment, Rory second in the championship, 6 points adrift of JJ Ross. Remember, that's before we take into account any of the dropped scores, but nonetheless it's a real indication of how the season has gone so far. Rob Cox definitely all over the back of Skritska. So Skritska, the race winner. This Silverstone circuit, where the championship all started just over a season ago. The race winners last year, the maiden race winner was Freddie Lee, and James Ross managed to get a podium in one of the races last year, so he's certainly no stranger to taking silverware home from this place. And he looks up the inside line through Maggots, down in towards Beckett's they go. Ross has got the lead, Collingbourne in second place. Then it's Alfonso Skritska, who's driving well considering he's under big pressure. This is the view from on board the second place car, and let's see whether he can get past. A lot of people say Silverstone's flat and boring. I love it because there are plenty of overtaking places, and let's see whether Collingbourne's going to do what he did on lap one. Comes out of the slipstream, down the inside line. Into the complex we go. Now this, oh look at that, fighting the wheel hard. He really is being made to work hard, but bang, into the back of James Ross. Ross's car fishtails a little bit, he gets it all back. Both of these drivers showing terrific car control. An inadvertent tap from the number 13 car. Rory, who qualified, I think what he would admit himself to be a disappointing 5th place. But come race time, of course, a good start, get it off the line well, and you can get it back up. The driving standards flag is going out. That, I suspect, is for track limits. And I think it might be Rory Collingbourne who's getting the warning. But it is, of course, a warning generally that all the other drivers will see. They'll see a number attached to that board, but then it'll make them think about their own tactics as well. So James Ross leading, Rory Collingbourne in second place, and Alfonso Skritska looks up the inside, bang! Again, this is touring car style action, but we haven't seen anybody off on the grass yet, and Skritska makes his move through on the inside. And I've said it before with the Fiesta Juniors, the likes of Matt Neal and Jason Plato are going to have to look to their laurels in the next few years, because the car control and racing that you see these youngsters do is absolutely superb. They're really getting stuck in. Skritska up to second. And now Rob Cox is coming into the mix and challenging for third place. So Rory Collingbourne, erstwhile leader, he's on the inside line. Rob Cox trying his luck on the outside. 5th position is Ben Wilcox in black and yellow. And he came out and did 3 laps behind the safety car this morning. And this is the first time in this race that he's driven the car in anger. And he's still running. He's in 8th place. So he's going to get some points. So I'm sure we're going to hear a lot of Aaron Thompson. And if you know the Thompson name, it's because his cousin Bobby races in the senior Fiestas, and he started off in the junior championship last year. Meanwhile, we're back with JJ Ross, who looks like he's on his way to win number 4 of the 2013 season to consolidate the championship lead. 4 wins, 1 non-finish so far, and he's on to that last lap. So he's only got 1.6 miles to go here around Silverstone. Look at the lead that he's got. It's out to over 6 seconds now. Alex Reid still in second. Through Copse Corner for the last time. This is the part of the circuit where the drivers tend to impinge on the track limits. You can see the curb there and plenty of runoff. And I don't think JJ Ross has had any problems in that direction. Certainly there has, I think, been a warning to a couple of drivers, and I'm hearing that Rory Collingbourne might have done that. Certainly won't do it again in race 2. Once the drivers have been warned and punished for it, then they tend not to repeat the mistakes. Well, talking of mistakes, we haven't seen any from the pole position driver because he's gone off into the sunset. He's had to work hard, James Ross, for this one, because he did lose the lead. He had best part of a couple of laps side by side with Rory Collingbourne. A great piece of racing from the pair of them, but it was JJ that consistently got those lap times down, used all his racecraft to come through, and now here he comes into Woodcote for the last time. The checkered flag will be ready for him, and it is going to be a win. There it is. James Ross continues a winning run. Every race that he's finished so far this year, he has won. The crew are delighted. Second position will go to Alex Reid. There's Alex taking the flag. Alfonso Skritska will take third place. Then it's Rob Cox who got ahead of Rory Collingbourne. and then Ben Wilcox. Cracking stuff from the Fiesta Juniors. JJ Ross winning fastest lap. Alex Reid in second from Alfonso Skritska. Robert Cox in fourth from Ben Wilcox. Rory Collingbourne got a 5-second penalty for track limits. In sixth position he finishes. Then Natasha Hussain in seventh, and Aaron Thompson finishing in eighth position on his debut.
Alex, a great race there, action-packed, and came through from sixth on the grid.
Yeah, it was a good race. Yeah, as you said, started sixth, managed to work my way through the grid, and at the end finished second.
Alfonso, third place, excellent there, and just tell us a little bit about that race, a little bit of an incident part way through.
Well, it was a good race, had a good start, got up to third, then battling, got up to second, then we were in second for a little bit, but going through, when I was lining third, Collingbourne was in second, I went through clear, went for the first corner, carried around more speed, went down the inside of him through maggots, and when I went for the inside, I broke and it understeered a little bit. I was on the race line, Collingbourne was off the race line, and we both collided, and we rubbed a little bit of tarmac on the side of the door, and then managed to keep the position there, but halfway through the race, towards the end, the tyre started going off. Then Alex Reid was quick, caught up with me, got past me, and then I looked behind and there's a biggish gap. He was catching me, so I thought I'd just settle for third.
Want to keep up with all the racing action at the track? Well, download the new GoRacingTV iPhone and Android app. And remember to like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter.
Some of the biggest upheavals in American sports is in the world of motor racing, especially sports car racing. There's mergers, new series being proposed, audiences coming and going, drivers getting younger and younger. That's why you need the Racing Insiders on MAV TV to help you navigate the turmoil. The Racing Insiders is a new, weekly, 30-minute news show covering sports car racing, whether it's being done professionally, globally, or by the local grassroots club. Award-winning journalist Bill Wood will host the weekly discussions, along with race-winning insiders Peter Keene in Florida and Jim Daniels in Tennessee. It's a fast-paced, edgy sports show. They'll even reach out to guest insiders to bring you behind-the-scenes insider information you'll want to know. This new era in sports car racing needs the Racing Insiders.
The Racing Insiders on MAV TV, Thursdays at 2 and 5 p.m. Eastern, and again on Saturdays at noon.
Race 2 for the juniors here at Silverstone. James Ross will start on pole position, and the others have got a fair bit of work to do to try and dethrone the man that's won every race he's finished so far. Alex Reid alongside, then Alfonso Skritska and Robert Cox on the second row, Ben Wilcox and Rory Collingbourne on row 3. Row 4, Natasha Hussain and Aaron Thompson, and slated to come and race in 9th position, Michael Higgs, but sadly Michael's car, as we said, very badly damaged in the Fiesta Senior race with Joe Ferguson unfortunately involved in an incident. They weren't able to get the car repaired. This is the view from what looks like pole. It's the inside line, as we mention every time here at Silverstone, and we've got an onboard camera with Britain's youngest ever racing driver in terms of car racing. It's Aaron Thompson in 41 making his debut this weekend. This is second race as we go on board with Ben Wilcox at the start. As you can see, conditions difficult, so Aaron Thompson's got a big learning curve this weekend. He wasn't able to practice, but nonetheless he's got stuck in and enjoyed his racing. There is Natasha Hussain in car number 1, the lady racer, who's getting quicker and quicker, still running 5th in the championship. And this is the view from Aaron Thompson. Incredibly, he's over 6 feet. He's 14 years of age today, so happy birthday, Aaron. And he's over 6 foot. So one of the reasons that he's moved into karts, he gets it all a little bit sideways. This is very definitely uncharted territory for him. And that is very much forgiven because, as I say, he couldn't qualify, couldn't test, couldn't come and do the qualifying yesterday because he wasn't of age to do so. So it really is a baptism of fire. And great to see him let us have the onboard camera of his first corner of wet racing in his car racing career. He's done a lot of karting. As we look at Natasha Hussain trying to hunt down Ben Wilcox at the moment. So just confirmation that Michael Higgs didn't make the start, and conditions very, very difficult out there. So we've had a mixture of a nice dry race earlier on, and now we're going to see what the drivers are made of in the wet. At the moment, they're pretty much running as they started. Rory Collingbourne's made a little bit of progress. Remember, he was further back on the grid after the time penalty that he received in race number 1. Definitely a little bit murky here today. Alfonso Skritska picking up his third podium, third career podium. He took one last year and then had the win, as we mentioned, at Donington Park. Sorry, beg your pardon, at Snetterton. So Alfonso looking for another one. In fact, at the moment, challenging hard for second position as they go down the Wellington Straight. Now, last year at Silverstone, the race winner, I mentioned Freddie Lee. It was Charlie Liddell, the champion, who took the win. As Alfonso Skritska was looking offline there, outside lines they go into Brooklands. There is Rory Collingbourne. So Rory running well. Now, an interesting statistic about Alex Reid, who you can see in the second of the yellow cars, the Scale Extric liveried car, is that thus far this year he's been on the podium in every race that he's finished. He's had a DNF and a non-classified, but as a classified finisher he's always been on the podium, so that's a pretty good record to try and maintain, and he's looking good for that at the moment. James Ross not getting away, although he's got a couple of lengths at the moment over the 51 car, with Alfonso Skritska in third position. Then it's Rob Cox. Ben Wilcox going a little bit wide. That's the sort of thing we were mentioning the clerk of the course will be looking at when the on the many monitors they got here. And Alex Reid, well, I was talking about Podia, and Alex Reid takes a spin, or a half spin. It was about 180, the Advent Motorsport prepared car. Now, has he stalled it? It looks like he has. He'd be desperately trying to get the car restarted. Not the best place on the track to be, so this might initiate a safety car. No, he's got it going. Well done, Alex. Gets the car fired up. Aaron Thompson goes through. Just saw a flash of the blue and white machine of Aaron Thompson going through. So Alex Reid back on circuit. He's got a fair bit of work to do now to try and close down on the rest of the field. And this just 15 minutes. So I think I've, again, done the curse of the commentator on him, talking about 100% podium records when he's finished. Mind you, this race isn't finished yet, so I'm sure he'll carry on and he'll want to get as many championship points as he possibly can. Meanwhile, that gives a little bit of a gap to the race leader. James Ross, pressure off, and look at that, up into second position now is Rob Cox. Third, Skritska. Fourth is Rory Collingbourne in car number 13. There's Rory going through, the Monmouthshire-based driver. Turns 16 in September. Now, far be it from me to suggest what he needs to do, but when you turn 16, as I mentioned previously, you can go senior racing. So I'm wondering whether Rory will finish his season here, possibly come back next year, because remember, you can race as a 17-year-old. The senior championship, incidentally, has, I think, 42 cars booked in this weekend. I'm pretty certain that is the best subscribed championship in the UK. I'm welcome any corrections that people might want to put through to me, but I can't think there can't be more than one or two more than championships at this level that have 42 drivers entered. So the answer is there is somewhere for these youngsters to go. It's a very competitive championship. Anyway, James Ross going through, and incidentally, we've got don't forget, last year's junior champion Charlie Liddell finished 4th in the opening race of the year at Rockingham. So this is a very much proved training ground for these drivers. And I've got to say, driving standards have been absolutely superb. You can look at other junior championships, perhaps car racing or karts, where there's damage aplenty. And, you know, thus far in the Fiesta Championship, we haven't seen that. And I do hope that's not the curse of the commentator again. I'm sure it isn't, because the officiating and the coaching and the driving standards absolutely superb, and that's being displayed by the championship and race leader James Ross, who's on to try and make it another perfect weekend for him. Pole position in yesterday's session. They get a free practice session, these youngsters, at the start, assuming they're of age. As we mentioned, Aaron Thompson couldn't do that yesterday. And then they get the qualifying as well. So the first day of the meeting is given over to sorting the cars out, getting the youngsters into the groove, and then race day is normally the second day of the meeting, and we've got 2 races of 15 minutes. Plenty of other Fiesta racing as well, because such is the senior championship oversubscribed now. It means that the STs get their own race, and then the A, B and D class Fiestas which of course these drivers could go into as well if they wanted to, have a separate race. So at any one meeting at the moment you have up to 6 Fiesta races. It makes a great day out, so do check the website, and you'd be very, very welcome to come along and watch some of our action for real. This is the third place man, Alfonso Skritska, race winner at Snetterton. Other than that, as we've said already, JJ Ross has stamped his authority on the championship, the young man from Watford. This is the view from the lead car coming into Beckett's. See, working hard. Cracking battle though, on for second position. Just to let you know that Alex Reid is still running, and he's passed Aaron Thompson, so he's got into 7th place. So his 100% race finish podium record sadly gone, and I apologise for jinxing that, Alex. But here they come, down the battle for second position. Down the Wellington straight once again, and Cox looks to the inside line, hard on the brakes. Skritska's on the outside in red, Robert Cox on the inside. Is he going to be able to take this? Heading off towards the outside, very nearly contact between the two once again, and Skritska runs wide as they go through Luffield, and this might allow the WDE prepared car to go up the inside. They're still side by side. Look at this, cracking racing, and this surely is going to go right the way to the flag. Rob Cox back in second place as the race leader. JJ Ross goes on to the last lap here at Silverstone. It's been a thriller with these 3 cars, 2 cars in particular, racing hard. Rory Collingbourne, I think, keeping a watching brief at the moment. But it's Rob Cox in second place, who's worked so hard, as has Alfonso Skritska, who's really come of age, I think, as a race driver this year. He's just really got to grips with this car and the racing. It's one thing to pedal the car around quickly, we knew he could do that, but he's been racing hard, and down the inside of Beckett's, and Collingbourne's going through as well, muscles his way through, contact with Rob Cox on the last lap, but again all the cars staying on. So this is a real testament to the championship. Very much a junior touring car championship for my money. Here they come down the straight once again. They're still side by side. It looks like Alfonso Skritska's going to be safe in second, and now the attention turns to third. Cox gets third position back. Collingbourne challenging hard after muscling through at Beckett's, and let's see what he can do at the moment, right in the slipstream of the third place car. But I think Rory Collingbourne might have left a move too late to come back. Here's the checkered flag. James Ross takes win number 5 of the 2013 campaign. Alfonso Skritska, a third career podium for him, up across the line now with third place going to Rob Cox. What a fantastic motor race that was from the juniors. So here's confirmation. JJ Ross, win and fastest lap, extends his championship lead. Alfonso Skritska is second from Rob Cox, then Rory Collingbourne, Ben Wilcox in 5th, then Natasha Hussain. Alex Reid recovered well to take 7th place, and Aaron Thompson again a finish and in the points, his first day as a racing driver at 14 years of age, taking the points for 8th place.
So Alfonso, another great race, and the weather turned against you towards the end there.
Yeah, the race was good. The start was alright, the tyres started coming towards me, so I felt the tyres coming together, and they started getting grippier and grippier. And then once I got grippier, I could throw it about a little bit more. But then the track was quite slippy, quite greasy. I had the ABS coming in a couple of times, and luckily kept it on the track, but that was alright, so it wasn't a too bad race.
Rob, great race. How was it from your point of view?
Well, it's one hell of a slidey ride. What can I say? Started from 4th and went way up to 2nd for a long time until Alfonso finally popped me in the on the last lap. Bit of contact, but it's junior racing. What do we expect, really? So all over, a bit pleased, a bit disappointed about first race, but quite happy with the second with the podium.